us are gonna fill those buckets back there with the soil. That'd be really good. I should probably get a chisel for this. Well guys, it's come to this, has it? Been working on my pond and the garden and the property and everything lately. And we have been spending more time at home lately. Just taking a short break from work right now. Next job was down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And with everything going on, I just don't trust the situation. So it's actually less work to go to work, if that makes sense, because it's so much work around here. Again, we're only about 1.5 years in of actually living on this property. Been working on it a little longer. This was one of the thickest, roughest parts of the property. Now it's completely transformed. And this is where we got a garden pond I started putting in. I should probably get a chisel for this or a sharper knife. I'm just taking down the end of this kind of driftwood log to make it smaller. I think I'll get a hammer and a chisel here in a minute. But before the sun set today, I wanted to get this done. This video anyway. Show you a little bit of what's going on. If you guys saw the first pond video, you may have been among those who noticed the pond was at a slant. We live in the Ozarks here. Ain't nothing flat for the most part. And even sometimes I'll take a picture of a beautiful sunset. People will be like, wow, make sure the horizon's flat. And I'm like, the horizon is never flat. Flatlanders. Anyway. Right here behind me is the pond. You're gonna notice at the moment it's a nice brown color. As I was building up the wall, because the land was going like this before, and when the water was flowing out on that end, it had still about another 2 feet to go worth of depth. So I had to build up over there for a while, and didn't have enough water pressure to hold that wall up, so it fell in. So browned the water a bit, but it's starting to look better in some other ways. Got to be careful around these guineas. Guineas will be guineas. Anyway, monster truck's working in the background. He's filling up some buckets with some topsoil. We kind of take off the outer layer, which has got the weed seeds and the weeds in it. That we just dump in our pasture, scattered around there, help build up the soil in there. And the stuff in the middle is being used to fill our raised beds. I planted one today. I put some goat beans in the background, some striped japonica corn in front of it, and then on each side was the marigolds, and then some balls improved calendula, and then cilantro in the middle. We're gonna start off like that, probably transition a couple things as time goes on, but liking those raised beds, liking that. They also have a nice rock look to them. But I've got a number of things I'm doing. I'm starting to plant in some irises and daylilies. Some of those irises came from Bobblehead Homestead. There's the daylilies. So that's kind of cool. Jeff, shout out to you. Look nice by the time this is done. Got some creeping ivy too. Ivies you got to be careful with. This is one. Actually, maybe it's periwinkle. This might be periwinkle. But yeah, you got to be careful with a lot of that stuff. So there's a reason it's just over here around this area. A lot of rock. I'll keep an eye on it. But then just using some different driftwood stuff. I don't know if you guys can see that behind me. I'll have to step this way. But then right over here too, just some old cedars. They were pretty much driftwood, just to kind of work on the ambiance here. So around this one, I'll probably tie some rope, kind of make it look more like a dock type area. Eventually, I'm thinking of setting up one layer, which is about 3 feet tall, of a grain bin that I've got, using that as like an above ground water containment system, have this get pumped into that and then filtered back down, and then the top one have some fish and some plants and do some aquaponics. That's a goal. We'll see, but things are coming together. You can see I've still got a ways to go to kind of support all this, but I've been doing it by hand, mostly with 5-gallon buckets. If it made more sense with a gorilla cart, I would, but I'm really bringing in multiple ones at a time with the trailer. So since I'm doing trailer loads, the gorilla cart doesn't really become ideal for the situation. But this is pretty deep in here, probably at least 4 feet. I still got some more water that I can add to it. Got a little thing peeking out there for turtles. And then down in here, there's like a 3-story kind of system of just little rocks with a big flat rock, little rocks, big flat rock, going all the way up. But we're just working on a couple things right now. Ouch. Adding to things. This is going to be great for the lizards, for the frogs, for the toads, for a lot of different creatures that inhabit this area too. We'll give them some good opportunity to have some water supply. Main garden is up in there. I should do a garden tour soon. It's coming in beautifully. Loving it. And then again, we have this hugel mound as just kind of a natural transition from kind of coming to the house area, coming over towards this pond, just to deter children from coming too close, as this whole rock thing, and actually working at the moment of adding in to that one there. I'm just gonna put a couple little railings. I'm not going to do too much, but I'm just going to use a lot of natural barriers here to kind of deter children from coming right into this area. So I still do not have a filter or a fountain or anything like that. I should get a pump. I should get a filter. I'll work on that. That'll be nice. And then this will settle down anyway. It's just a lot of like the creek gravel like stuff. It'll settle down anyway, but not an inviting color to everyone, but I jump in water like that constantly. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to run a couple railings there and see what this looks like. You know, adding in some different stuff. Got some piles of driftwood there, some different stuff here. I got a skinny cedar. I'm gonna add, got these two guys here. I'll probably put one over there. That's just temporary. All that's asking for is to get poked in the eye coming around here, so I just kind of had that for a minute. But yeah, some irises, daylilies, periwinkle, yucca, and we'll get some other stuff going here too. I think I'm gonna put my papaya tree out here as well this year. So far too, the ducks have not found it, so liking it.
Whoa, that worked. He did.
Well, I got one of them across. I'll probably do the other one another day. Like I said, maybe use some of the leaning branches and other stuff as kind of more of a natural barrier. And we'll continue. At the moment, it's not the most beautiful pond, but it doesn't need to be the most beautiful pond. Right now, it just needs to be my pond. And so it is. So like I said too, this is something that's partially done for beauty. There's a certain ambiance to it, a certain mood it sets. I like to be able to have right behind it there, covered in baby fat artichoke cucumbers, be able to sit down, chair, maybe a bench, Or there's a nice branch hanging over there. Put a nice little swing on it. Watch, you know, the birds come down here, get a drink. Maybe some water snakes or other things. Frogs, toads, lizards run around like crazy. Hop around. So, as usual, life has kind of ran out of daylight. You can see I got that one across there. And we'll continue working another day. But it should be a wonderful multi-purpose pond. A lot of good uses for it. You know, store some water. Maybe store some fish. Store some other things. Have it there as something to kind of create a microclimate to break up the scenery a bit. Add a little water feature for the wild creatures. Oh, stuff like that. I don't know. It's waking up right now, man. The garden's starting to green up. We're starting to get things planted. It's a good time of year. I'll see you guys next time. And I'll continue to find ways not to go stir crazy. Papa out.